right, good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing okay on what is turning out to be a chilly day. I talked to my brother this morning about 6, and it was 27 degrees this morning in Dallas. So us folks here in Houston, in a little while, I guess, a little while being probably later on this afternoon, early evening, we're getting ready to get it. So and 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 full disclosure on this. I lived in Germany for 5 years, and I don't believe it gets cold really until you're up to your knees in snow. So you guys in North Carolina, Miss Kim out in Ohio, I feel for y'all because I know it's cold right now. My daughter Naya in Brooklyn, they say with the wind chill factor, it's minus 10 degrees. So everybody's got a little different perspective, right? All right. So what I want to talk about briefly this morning, briefly, is I want to talk about the setup. This is one of the subject matters that we had earlier in the week. But the setup is real important because if you're looking like, okay, let's look at this. This is Ethereum, but we don't care that it's Ethereum right now. We're just looking at the price action. Everybody with me on that? We're just looking at the price action. That's all. Y'all with me? We're just looking
Yes.
at the price action.
Yes, sir.
That's it. So there's a lot of things you could talk about here, right? We could tell about the downward movement, and looking at the indicators. We know the price is is moving sideways. But the most important thing about this, we know one thing: price is trapped in between structure, and all we're looking for right now, because it's consolidating. The only thing we're worried about right now is what?
A breakout.
A breakout. That's all we care about. That's all we care about. So let's talk about the downward movement first. The downward movement has a lot of demand here, right? There's a lot of it. There is no space here. None. No space whatsoever. And y'all, we want to make this setup process easy and smooth as pie. See, there's a lot of indicators out here, educators out here, I should say, that want to show you how smart they are. And that's wonderful if you're into that. But what I try to do is to make this thing as easy as possible. So I'm not even worried about Kim. Kim, I am not worried about a downward movement at this point because of the fact that the demand is so heavy. So heavy. My goodness, look at this. Where is there an entry for the downward movement? At the moment, there isn't. Right?
Right.
There's no need for me to concern myself with the downward movement. So what I'm concern myself with this is the upper movement, the upper breakout. So as we look at this, here's current price here. So then if I'm looking for upper movement, I'm looking for my next line of structure. In this case, it's really this dude right here. This flat top candle. That's my next line of structure. Then we had this level of resistance here and yesterday's high. My next line of structure that I'm concerned with after that is this flat bottom candle here. So here and I want to use this line of structure here because I have 3 wicks here. And again, some people are going to tell you about the wicks, but also I have this flat top candle here. And look at that. The flat top is just so close to the top of these wicks. So for good measure, I'm going to move up to this engulfing candle here, and I'm going to make this engulfing candle here right after this my entry for the upper movement. I'm going to put it right here. Put it right here. And we'll make this, this is for Ethereum. We're going to use this for a buy peak here. There's Ethereum here. Buy peak here is 3198.07.
Question.
Sure.
There is a large flat bottom candle to the left. Yes, right. To the
I
left.
did not see that. And there's also a flat top candle right here too. They're both on the same line. So we're gonna have to change that. Good looking out. So we'll do this. We'll put this right here. Actually, we'll delete this. And all right, so here's Ethereum here. Buy peak is 3235.98. 3235.98. Very good, Dimitri. Good job. So even with this buy peak here, what are we concerned? And again, let's forget it's Ethereum for a second. We're gonna keep the buy peak there, obviously, but let's just say this is just a regular forex pair. What's the issue here? What's the issue?
The big supply box at the top.
The big supply box at the top. Yeah, I'm looking at that, but that's obviously just south of that is probably going to be, my TP here, right? Because this flat bottom candle here, I mean, this is probably going to be my TP, but that's not my concern. It's not going to be a whole lot of pips, right? But what's my concern here at this point? Say
I
it.
would be, huh?
Say it.
I said I would be concerned with the value.
Yes. I'm concerned about the value because of the fact that here is yesterday's high, price is overperforming. So in the setup, right? And obviously we don't give a shit about this right now because this is way, this is a little ways away, right? But the thing that I would do, Kim, the thing that I would do is I'll put a moving average on here. Which moving average you think I'm gonna put on here?
200.
Yes, ma'am. Look at her. She's smoking this morning. So here's your 200, and here's our buy peak. Now my concern is valid. Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
because price is definitely at that point is definitely overperforming. So, well, Derek, why is this important? Well, it's important because of the fact that I need to figure out is what am I looking for when price arrives there? What am I looking for when price arrives? And the questions I have to ask myself are: is this supply box going to remain here? Are there going to be support and resistance lines going to be in here? Is the risk greater than the reward, or is the reward greater than the risk? And then what is because would you agree, even though it doesn't seem like it, but would you agree there's a lot of structure here, right?
Yes.
It's a lot of structure here. So let's take a look at it again. There's a lot of structure right here. It looks clean, right?
Yes.
But I really have to do what? I really have to respect structure here is because I could be walking through a landmine, right? Or a landfill. I could be it could be landmines all over this place. And turns out that they are. Right? So here,
Yes.
here, right here. And not to mention these wicks that, I don't think I highlighted before, but I'm you know, let's see.
You also have a flat bottom, right at that bottom line of consolidation, that last candle, over to your left.
Oh yeah, this dude right here. So now all of a sudden, this upper movement don't look so good, right? I think I had this mark too. All of a sudden, now this upper move don't look so hot. But hey, we could keep the alert here, right? And ladies and gentlemen, just because an alert goes off doesn't mean it's time to get in. Because what could happen? What could happen?
Market conditions could
The
change.
market conditions could change for sure. And not in our favor. Right? Let's
Right.
take a look at another one.
Good morning, Derek. Real quick, if the Kim, I agree 100% with Kim when she said the value. Now, in speaking of the value, if by then, of course, the market conditions change, which could mean one of the examples could be yesterday high could be much higher, would that have any impact on the value?
Well, if the market conditions are not in our favor, then it's that a question again, risk versus reward at that point. You know, I you know, if okay.
I guess that when if the yesterday high let's say gets much higher than what it is now.
Well, why? Okay, so if the zone, you mean if the zone
Yes,
thinks in the
yes,
scenario
sir.
as the zone widens, sure,
Yes.
then the value
Okay.
changes all over again.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
and if that's the case, then if the zone gets wider, that means momentum has changed for the upper movement, right?
Ye- Yes, sir.
So yeah, for sure. Market conditions could get in our favor, but it also could be really crappy on the other end too. So,
Okay.
you know, um you would just, you would definitely have to put those notes on your log, and you would also, even though you have a peak there, you would want to keep that on your watch list. Because if the market conditions worsened, then you'd probably take it off your board as a potential deal and just move it strictly to watch. You know what I mean? Well, now I'm just
Yeah.
waiting to see what the market's
Yeah.
going to do. I'm not really excited about getting in this trade at the moment. And that's what the part of being a good manager is. Right? That's a good part about being a good manager, and we talk about the uh, um our risk management, right? We have to keep that in mind. So let's take a look at this one. Well, automatically I like the setup, right? Because, well, no, I don't. Again, this is similar to what we just looked at. Look at all this demand here. So obviously, the market conditions are trying to push price upward. Because there is so much demand, I'm not even looking for a sell peak number at this point. Y'all feel me? Not even doing it. So then I start looking for structure for price going the other way. And there's no indication that price is going the other way. Well, what do we have here, though? We have volume on the downward movement for a show, right? I mean, if we put a trend line here, there's a lot of volume here, right?
Yes.
A lot of volume. However, there's a formidable amount of demand here that is trying to halt what this is for sure. Everyone, from here to here, we would consider this to be a what here?
Impulsive move.
Impulsive move. So this could have been what? News?
It
Could
was
be
news.
a bank move.
Yeah, it was news.
So if this was news, then what could we be looking at then for tomorrow when the market opens? If this was news, what could we be looking at when the market opens tomorrow?
Price correction.
Yes, look at you. Good job. So we could be looking at price correction and price could ready to go the other way. So if that's our analysis, then I have to start looking for the next line of structure here. Next line of structure, y'all will see these groups of wicks over here. I want to put a horizontal line right here. So here's my next line of structure. It is not my entry. Not my entry. And now I'm looking for a break of structure here and to break this H4. And if I'm looking for that, then I'm looking for this to be my entry. My next line of structure is this flat bottom candle. That's 19 pips. Kim, you know what that is? That's a signal. You better believe it. All right, USD CAD EP for a buy is 1.37983. 1.37983. 1.37983 is the EP for a buy, and our TP is going to be 1.38150. 1.38150. That is going to be our TP for the buy for USD CAD. It's 20 pips. If you round it up, that's going to be 20 pips. And that could be your move for tomorrow to start the week out. And y'all, and I know it's happened to a lot of you, but it's pretty cool when you can get 20 pips on a Sunday, isn't it?
Feels good, like you stole some.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is this move really going to happen tomorrow? Probably not. Sunday being the lowest volume, day of the week. But Kim, we still got to get pips on Tuesday, Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we've done here could also be your exercise for your own market review. You feel me on that, Richard?
Absolutely.
I mean, because all you're doing when we're doing the market review mostly is, okay, I'm setting myself up to get ready for the week upcoming. I'm also looking at some price action. I'm making this thing very simple. And you're not, y'all, when you're doing market review on your own, you're not doing this to break a brick over the top of your head. No, you're just making this nice and easy. You're just making this nice and easy.
And Derek, one of
Yes.
the advantages that I really, really find out now is that as much of this I can do, that I'm really not babysitting that pair because I'm waiting for that alert to go off. And if it doesn't go off, then I know I don't really need to look at that pair.
Right. Absolutely. Setting alerts saves you a lot of time. A lot of Richard, sometimes I call it stargazing. I don't need
Yeah,
to get lost.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I
I
don't need to
feel
get
that.
lost mentally by staring into the face of a
Yep,
chart.
yep, yep.
So listen, y'all. Some of you guys are getting hung up on the same things. I'm not bitching at you. I'm just listen to me. If you're getting hung up on the same things, if it's tripping you up in your trading, something mechanical is going wrong. Richard, back in Galveston when I was a little boy, I had to be about 11. And next to my grandmother was the county clerk for Galveston County. Well, she had two sons, and they were always building cars in that garage next door to her. And my Uncle Russell, my mom's baby brother, would love to tinker also with them. Well, they would be riding these mini bikes, and they had two mini bikes, and and my uncle would ride, with them sometimes too, just riding up and down the street. Nobody was gonna say anything. And well, one of the brothers, his mini bike was smoking this particular day. Well, he came back. The three of them looking at now. His younger brother and my Uncle Russell were good at tinkering. And it was this little piece, Kim. It's this little piece. And then all of a sudden it stopped smoking. I don't know what they were doing. I was holding, I just wanted to be one of the fellas. And I would find anything to do. And so this particular time I was holding the flashlight. I don't know what they were talking about, but I was just really involved. Some of y'all in your trading is smoking. And it doesn't mean it's a big thing. But Richard is here. He'll tell you this. Greg is on here. He'll tell you this. Dr. Price is on here. She'll tell you this. Kim will tell you this. Kim in Ohio will tell you this. Sometimes you hear the same thing over and over and over again until you really hear it. And then the light comes on. And it's a wonderful thing. They'll tell you. But you can't get the breakthrough. You can't get the breakthrough if you're not coming. Y'all, I've been able to do some wonderful things because of this business. All my children, except Isaiah, because of this business, I put them through school. I mean college. Because of this business. I've been able to do so many things. But this next chapter of my life is all about my grandchildren and Kim and me. Now, Naya and Isaiah, they don't have any cheering. They don't have any cheering. This business could give you whatever it is you want. Some of y'all so fucking hard-headed. And some of you guys are lying to yourself. Lying to yourself. Y'all hear how intelligent Richard talks about these things? He didn't start off that way. Now, Richard's a pretty smart guy. I didn't know anything about trading other than the end result if you're successful. because I had knew a lot of I knew quite a few people that I had run into in my life that worked in the field. And all I'm telling you, some of y'all have been introduced to trading. And have some knowledge of it from different aspects. You know, Kirk has been on here, and Kirk was heavy in the crypto, and y'all know his story. Y'all know his cousin's story, and yet and still, even with witnesses to what can happen if you're engaged, some of y'all are still not engaged. At the end of the day, everyone on here is grown, except for Jaden. But you know what? Jaden's smart enough to be on here. Jaden could tell you firsthand what trading has done for him. His mama's home. His mama's at his games. His mama, when they were doing AAU, she was his booker when it came to transportation and getting him where he needed to be. And all I'm telling you, maybe trading is not your thing. Maybe this is not the thing, but this could be the thing to get you to where the thing is that you want to be. And y'all, if you get 10 toes down, 240 days, you could be free. Or whatever free is for you. But you got to lock in, man. You can't be just getting in and out of trades and not using the proper lot size, not reading, not doing all the things that we recommend you doing. And we're not telling you about something we read or heard it on some tape or something. This is our lives. Y'all feel me on this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
hold on one second.
Shelby, it's the last time you will.
So one day, if you're not careful, y'all gonna hear me playing this song for real.
I'm so glad we had this time together. Just to have a laugh or sing.
Cut it out.
Because I will still be able to do my mission. Not the way, the organic way, but I'll still be able to do that. But it's going to be a time where, hey, man, me and Kim might go to Africa and I don't know, we might be there for a while. You have, let me tell you what you're plugged into. And y'all have heard me say this before. You are plugged into a system that can give you potentially unlimited earning potential. We got all kind of walks of life here. We got professionals, highly credentialed people, smart brothers and sisters on here. But when it comes to this, some of you guys are infants, some of you guys are toddlers. We got some preteens here. We got some teenagers. We got a couple of young adults here when it comes to skill. So again, the question I ask you, and I asked this the other night, have you developed the skill that you need to give yourself what you want? And if you haven't, why not? Why not? Y'all, you name me a business that's legal where you have hardly any overhead and plugs you into world markets and gives you the power of unlimited earning potential. Tell me what other business that is. Don't say fucking real estate, because that ain't it. Y'all, you could do this laying in your bed if that's what you want to do. I don't think you're completely plugged in when you do that, but you could do that. And those of you, hey, listen, let me tell you something. When I was in the car business, I had some nights where I would get off at 10:30, 11 o'clock, but I was at work at 8 a.m. And some nights I didn't get off to 10:30, 11 o'clock. Sometimes it just felt like that. I wasn't complaining because they paid me well to do it. But when I got home, dealt with the dogs, took my shower, I was spent. And there were times when all I could do is pull up my cell phone and dial in the Dr. Spiller, lay the phone on the bed, put it on speaker, and I would hit the pillow. Sometimes that's all I had. But there were sometimes I would come home in the same time and I was tired but not beat tired. I'd get up, take a shower, and I would sit down in front of that computer and I would do that deal. I'm not going to tell you that there were some times that, hey, all I could do was lay in the bed. I'm not saying, but if you're doing it all the time, and one more thing, if all you have is excuses and no solutions, you are the problem. If all you got is excuses and no solutions, you are the problem. No, you are the issue. Because I believe problems are something you can't that can't be fixed. You are the issue. There was a guy when I was in real estate. There was a guy who would do night owls at the Denny's. Y'all been to those? I mean, if you been in real estate stuff, or you were into something and the guy would do the night owl, Denny's was the favorite place, right? I mean, because I guess they would let you hang out there and all that, as long as you tipped the waitress really good because you were sitting in her station, and this guy had the same waitress every time, and it'd be about 8 or 9 of us, sometimes it was 4 or 5. So tonight at 10 o'clock, I'm gonna have an unofficial night out. This is me telling you, but he would call at or get on Kim. You remember those group calls they would do, like, you would call into this number, and I guess some places still do that, but you would call into this number and the leader would have a message.
Yes.
Okay. So his message, it would pop up on the phone, David's got a message here, and we would call to hear his message. Hey, I'm gonna be out at the doing a little night owl at the Denny's in Sugarland at our normal place at 1 a.m. And whoever showed up, showed up. And whoever didn't, they didn't. He didn't care. But what he was saying is, hey, I'm making myself available and we're going to just talk about some things. And sometimes it was just him talking about his experiences. So I'm not going to do you like that, but here it is. Tonight at 10 o'clock, 11 p.m. on the East Coast, 8 p.m. on the West, I'm going to do a night owl tonight. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but that's where I'm going to be. I'm not going to have no slides. I'm not going to do any of that. I might have some charts up here, but I'm going to probably drop some nuggets. I don't know, but I feeling like him that I probably am. But this is also a time where you guys could just speak your mind about it. But Kim, somebody go get blessed tonight.
All right. Then.
Somebody gonna get blessed tonight. Hey, I could be the one getting the blessing. Somebody might bless me tonight. But you know the beautiful thing about these kind of things, Kim? The people that show up didn't have to, but they did
That's
anyway.
true. Exactly. Could have been doing something else.
Could have been doing anything else.
Yeah,
And you know what, Kim? So could I.
that's true.
But I'm going to spend my dog cuddling time with you guys tonight. Regardless of what you think, I love each and every one of you. I really do. I really, really do. But you are fighting against you. This is your journey. You don't compare yourself to anyone else because I'm going to tell you, some people caught on really quick about the basics. But then when it started getting down the road and it started technical thing, they kind of got hung up. Now, some people got confused about the basics for some whatever reason. Getting out the blocks but was just I don't know. Hey, but Greg, you like the track and field, don't you? Is Greg on here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so you
I
like
do.
track and field, right?
Yes, sir.
So Sha'Carri Richardson come out the blocks late all the time.
Yep.
All the time. But it really doesn't matter. Because that little sister coming. She coming to get you. And just because you stumble out the gate don't mean that you're any slower.
Amen.
You have to run your race. Run your race. Richard ran his race. Kim from Ohio ran her race. Kim ran her race. Greg ran his race. Eric ran his race. Dr. Price ran her race. Miss Eva ran her race. Richard ran his race. Demetrius running his race. Christy runs her race. On and on and on and on. But see, if you running somebody else's race, that ain't gonna work, man. It ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not. It's not gonna work. If Sha'Carri Richardson worried herself over coming out of the blocks late, she would not have gold and she would not be the fastest woman in the world. But she concentrated on her race. And we're going to concentrate. I want each and every person to concentrate on this. And also, you need to be honest about your commitment. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about a lot of things. Hey, if you don't show, you don't show. This is just me. Hey, I want to have a conversation. Just like my man David was in real estate. He just wanted to have a conversation. If you wanted to be involved, hey, this is where I'm going to be. Hey, I'm going to be here tonight having a conversation. This is where I'm going to be. And a conversation means interaction. I hope that, I know Eric's going to talk to me. I know Richard's going to talk to me. I know Greg's going to talk to me. I know Kim's going to talk to me. I know those people. If all I wanted to do was talk to them, we could do that. I would have just texted them individually and say, hey, man, I want to have a conversation. And they'd be there. That's the original coalition. They would be there. Miss Eva, too. Amos Brown, too. Dr. Price. They gonna be there. All the time. So all I'm saying is, and you know what, Kim from Ohio, she's part of the original coalition, too. They go back the longest. Then you have Missy Lane came in and and others, and then Dimitri came along. But I'm talking about the originals. Me, Kim from Ohio, and Amos, we collectively been here the longest. And Kim, both Kims, y'all go back a minute, right?
Oh yeah. Wait, but that's how him and I met. Because we went to a week-long shut-in for trading. We were very new traders, and we stayed in this mansion. Everybody stayed it was really nice. Everybody stayed in the mansion. That's how I got to meet her. And we would be up all times of the night. You come out your room, bring your laptop, whoever want to trade, whoever want to study. But yeah, we met. So I don't know, Kim, that's been, 5-6 years ago. Yeah, so that's how I met her.
So all I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah, it's been a minute.
And it's
and
just to
Kim,
ask
I
that
have to
Kim,
say, Kim from Ohio, I have to say, sister, I really miss you. It's been a long time since I've seen you, and we got to get together really soon.
Likewise.
So, what were you gonna say, Kim? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
oh no, just quickly, I was going to say, because Kim and I, that was our first rodeo. And like I said, we did not know each other at all. We just exchanged information. And through this process, we both have had our struggles. We talked offline. We got on the phone and talked. And we both have just made great progress in this. So I'm super happy to see where Kim has come from, because it was some very small beginnings. And it's been a long time coming.
Amen. Thank you, Kim.
Everybody has a struggle. My struggle has been ongoing. My ego. I fight with it every day. Everybody has a story. But the victory is how you overcome that thing. So we're going to talk. And I will see y'all here tonight at 10 p.m. Y'all enjoy your day. Y'all be sure to stay safe. And I'll see you tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Look forward to it.
Yes, sir. I plan to be there.
All right. Outstanding.
You said that's 11 o'clock Eastern time,
11
right?
o'clock Eastern.
Okay.
I'll post it in